Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Everybody doing all right? As you can see, I have made progress while I was away. I finally have finished up the poses for everybody. And yes, there is a lawnmower in the background, as there seems to be every Tuesday around this time. But don't worry, hopefully it doesn't last too long. So let me show you some of what I've finished this week. Number one, this weapons cabinet right here. Got this weapons cabinet going on. There's still gonna be a piece of glass over top of it, but... And the swords, these are not like the swords that are gonna be in this cabinet. There's gonna be some different ones. But for now, that's what we got. There's gonna be a puzzle down here, which we'll probably work on today. Hello, Lowest Expectations. Welcome in. I also did these little flower pot things. Now, don't look too hard at this water. This is this is supposed to be water down here, but there's a specific material in Unreal Engine that we're going to use for that. So this is just a placeholder, basically. This grainy texture there. But I'm really happy with how those have turned out. Those little pot things. Anybody recognize this guy? We've got a huge creature head up on the wall. Does anyone recognize what this is from? I think some of you might. He is the big water creature from the Mariposa demo. Yep. Yes, it's a Glaciad! Exactly, from the Mariposa demo. I thought it would be fun to reuse that model for Torrera's collection here. Lewis Lone Wanderer says this is looking quite good so far. Thank you very much. From the Ice District in my previous Mariposa game demo. Yes, exactly. I've also put up some other stuff up on her wall just to fill out the wall here. There's going to be a picture here, but it's not quite done yet. Putting the models side by side, you've come a long way since the Mariposa days. Yeah. In fact, this guy might be needing a bit of a retexture here. Is it based off of Chaos, though? No, I haven't played any Sonic games. If that's what you're talking about. I haven't played Sonic games, but I have watched people play one. Is Perfect Chaos from a Sonic game? Sorry, I don't know. Welcome in, welcome in. There was also something else. Obviously we did this last week. There's also something else I was working on, which is this right here. This is a little altar. Coach Torrera is basically like a Catholic equivalent in this world, so I was researching into some Catholic altars and things to make something kind of good for her. So we have some saint prayer candles right here, and then one here. And there's gonna be like a saint prayer card right there, but that one has not in game yet. This is what I'm super proud of though, is this little statue. I really like how it turned out. It's the Veiled Lady, who is also pictured right here. And there's the star of the highest king right there. Something I would also like to do is I put these leaves here because I was thinking of doing some vines on the walls, potentially. We'll see. I might work on that today. Also, there I'm gonna be putting a lock on this chest, and you have to solve a puzzle to open it. As for what's inside, I will not say quite yet. Though you might have seen my note there. One of the things inside here will be some letters, but there'll be some other stuff too. But yeah, I've just finished this one today and I'm so happy with it. World building stuff, woohoo! Let me show you a little bit of this right here. The big taxidermy scene. Now keep in mind this white block right here is just, well, obviously it's work in progress. It's just placeholder until I put the rocks and dirt and other stuff there. So here we've got, hold on. We've got these guys. That K-Pound is biting on him. Then this guy's trying to come down to help. Maybe he'll be firing a little laser at the dog. We've got this fluff bat flying around. And oh, we have a couple of little kitties up here, some Blossine. And look, they've got one of their prey, a bunny, or a bun bee. And then this Kipson is up here. Where's he going? Uh-oh. He's trying to get this Rodink up here, and Rodink's like, ah! Stop it! Oh, Zigzoink said, your voice is very soothing, by the way. Thank you. Ivana says, I'll ask Ashley from Game Theory to try your demo of Noirmore Academy. Oh, I hope she does. That would be awesome. Much appreciated. And this little guy is sleeping. This Verna is just sleeping. This guy's munching on a little gemstone there. And uh-oh, this Rodink. Yikes. Not in a good position. These little guys are just hopping about. Look at that. And over here we've got another little hunting scene. That cat looks very eager to be seeing that bun bee up there. Oh, look at what this K-Pound is leaping for. It's one of the chicken heron things. And this guy is holding a beetle. And the beetle is being munched on by the rodink. And the rodink is being looked at by the Kipson. So you can see the food chain right here. I wonder why there's so much of an emphasis on a food chain in this. I wonder if there could possibly be a reason why this diorama is so elaborate and requires looking around at it. Ha! Also, this poor rodink right here. Ah! Help me! Help me! Wunderbar. Could it be puzzles? You could be right, Ziggurat. But hey, y'all being here in general means that you're going to be exposed to a little bit of puzzle spoilers, so don't at me if you feel like you've been spoiled. And I'm not exactly going to tell you how to solve the puzzle. You still have to figure that bit out. Ivana says, wish one of your merchandise was a lore book about your game and world building. That probably will be a book at some point, but not until the game launches. One thing is for sure, we're definitely going to have an art book. That's one of the Kickstarter rewards. Though, for Kickstarter rewards, it's just a digital art book, but it'd be cool if we could have a physical version as well. And look at these cave hounds. These are some of the previous pets that Torrera has had. They'll each have a little nameplate, which I'm working on still. So that placeholder is there to let me know. Don't forget to make nameplates for all these cave hounds. Meanwhile, the living cave hound lives right here, and I still have to make the little toys for it. Maybe that can be something we also do on stream. Alright, so there's sort of the look at what I've been working on this week, off stream. Project Seltzer, thank you very much for sending the flower for 30 jewels. Much appreciated. Speaking of that, I will go ahead and set our stream goal for 5 super chats at $5. And the reward will be... What should the... Oh, thank you, Taylor Edwards, for giving the Silver Star ×2. Much appreciated. The reward will be Dancing Link, unless we come up with anything else. Alright, now it's time for work mode. Work mode activated. What's the first thing we should model today? Let's see. First off, we have the dog toys that need modeling. I just literally have a cube there for the dog toy. Also, there is this lock that needs to be finished. And some vines to wrap on this altar piece. Any moment 10 years in the joint will manifest to request Dancing Link. Mayhaps, mayhaps. Maybe next time reward should be your dancing OC cat. I like the donation rewards you did with the names on the coat texture. That was a cool idea. Yeah, I think that's a really fun one too. Because it's kind of like you're leaving your mark on the game, you know? Since I'm not texturing right now, I can't really do that, but whenever we do another texture stream, I'll be sure to do that as a reward. But if there's anything else we can do for these environment art streams, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to come up with something. At least for now, we have the donation reward of hiding Rita Ragtime inside the room. That's a fun one. I like that one. But we've already hidden her in this room, so... Oh! Hello, hello, hello! Ziggurat has donated MX $50. Is the Glaciid going to be the only ET? Has Torrera been off-planet? The Glacids are actually not extraterrestrials. Glacids belong to Noivesse. That's actually always been the plan. Thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, but when I first was working on them, I had come up with the planet being noir themed and being black and white generally, but I think when I was making the Mariposa demo, part of my thought process was that it wouldn't make sense for this one room to be black and white. So I didn't really have the whole design idea in mind of how the animals would look, like the design rules of the animals only having, you know, one color type of thing. So yeah, now that I have a more established design language for these critters, I could go back and work on these and make them better. But you see how it has that kind of three nostril idea, and the bumpy mouth and the fur on it? That is been in a lot of the designs of the creatures on Noivesse. The bumpy mouth, the kind of multiple side nostril idea, and being super fluffy. Even the cow is super fluffy. So even then, some of those design elements on this guy were continued with some of the other animals on this planet. Especially like the cave hound. You can see the similarities there on the cave hound. But yes, very good question, and thank you for the donation. But you can also kind of headcanon it that just like with Psyquine, if the animals eat food from other planets for a long enough time, they'll also gain colors on their full bodies, you know? Blue Spirited Dragon says, I donate, but I paid a lot for break repairs. Hey, that's fine. I don't mind if you don't donate. Everybody's free to be here. It's a free country. Also, I need to texture this tea set. I assume the characters in this room are for scale, says Heartful Dragon. Yes, you got it. You got it. Oscar says, must be because of how cold Noivesse is, thick fur and specialized noses to warm the air they breathe. Yep, exactly, exactly. Because this planet is so cold, I thought it would make sense that a lot of the animals have extra fur on them. Let's model this lock first. One of these directional locks that you may have seen in some escape rooms. Hey Taylor, thank you very much for the gold coin for 10 jewels. Much appreciated. And Celestial says, plus the Glaciid we need crystals connected with a resonative field. Yes, exactly. That's another, that is a design feature that is missing on the Glaciid. It doesn't have some kind of mineral on it that is needed. Again, that's completely fine, Ivana. You do not have to donate to be here. It's all good. I'm just happy y'all are here. By the way, speaking of voice acting, because usually when I talk about donations, I talk about voice acting. Today, we did the recording session for Miss Keen. So look forward to hearing that. And I'll have an announcement shortly of who we cast as Miss Keen and how she did and some of the... I don't know what I'm saying. The casting announcement, that's what I'm trying to say. I'll have a casting announcement out soon with an example of her work on Miss Keen. It's gonna be great. She did an amazing job. Very much brought Miss Keen to life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these directional locks are almost exclusively used in escape rooms. Because, like, who else is gonna get a directional lock to actually lock your stuff? Like, it's kind of hard to memorize that kind of thing, you know? This might seem like a lot of polygons for this little lock, and it is. The reason why is because the camera is going to be zoomed in on this thing when you're trying to unlock it. So it has to be reasonably high poly so that it doesn't look really bad when your camera is zoomed in like this close to it, you know? If you're ever wondering why some things are weirdly high poly in the scene, even though they're small, it's probably because I'm going to have the camera zoom in on it. Same reason as to why some things might be way higher resolution texture than they seem like they should be. There's your little game dev lesson for today. Oh, I forgot to credit the music. Okay, the music we're listening to right now is Frutiger Arrow Night Playlist to Relax to /sleep No AI by Virtual Utopia. There you go. That's what we're listening to. Guys, I really should probably do some more art fight stuff too. I haven't been doing my art fight duty very much this month. Blue Spirited Dragon says I could see a paranoid person using obscure lock types for their stuff. Maybe so, maybe so. Random question, if one of your OCs, your cat OC or Judith, could make a cameo in another game, where would you want it? Cuphead, Bendy, Mickey, Nancy Drew, or somewhere else? That's a fun question. I haven't really ever thought of that. I mean, it would be a huge honor to have the next Nancy Drew game reference my game in some way. That'd be hilarious. If I got in a Mickey game, that'd be crazy. I don't think Disney's lawyers would ever allow them to have a fun indie game cameo like that. Technically, that would be the most interesting cameo, but doubt it would ever happen. I don't know, honestly, I think any of my characters making a little, getting referenced or having a little cameo in any indie game or game at all would be really awesome. Can't say I want to be picky, because the concept in general is an honor. Frutiger Arrow is such a vibe, yeah. Mr. Tim Fritz says, are you still looking for VAs? It's fine if not, I'm just curious. Love the style in your OCs. Good question. Technically, there are a few characters I have not fully cast yet, but that's for some scheduling and other reasons. Because of how busy I've been with dealing with the current batch of VAs, I haven't been able to cast too specific VAs just yet. But technically auditions are closed. So yeah, sorry. I definitely will have more auditions in the future. Maybe not for this game though. It probably would be for the next project. I'm not gonna make this lock exactly like the lock in the picture, but yeah. Oh, thank you much for the donation, Taylor Edwards. Much appreciated. Which character for the game came first? Judith. It's an easy question. Because the whole game spawned from the idea of taking the characters from my previous project that I'd planned, Mariposa, and doing some kind of fun backstory games that feature the different planets in the galaxy. And Judith was the one I kind of had some of the most vision for. I could just picture a lot of it in my head. I always pictured her as being in this creepy school, kind of inspired by a series of unfortunate events and Tim Burton kind of creepy art style, and then some kind of mystery in a gothic school. That was always the idea. Avocado lock. Yeah, it does look like an avocado. If Noivus had a medieval-like period back in the day, did other planets have something similar? Yes. That's all I can say right now because I have plans. The one thing I can say that's not kind of spoilery for future plans is that the sort of history of the 1920s Cat People planet had a huge Egyptian inspiration. The reason why is because the 1920s, a lot of 1920s aesthetics was based off of Egypt and the looks of Egypt and aesthetics and shape language of Egypt, because after King Tut's tomb was first excavated, it went on a huge tour through America, and that inspired a lot of people of the time to get super into Egypt. So there was sort of a resurgence of ancient Egyptian theming in art and culture because of King Tut's tomb being found in the 20s. Or around the 20s. Fun fact. East Egypt also loved cats? Yes, that's part of it too. The cat aesthetic. Oh my goodness. By the way, I got a refund from Streamlabs from last week, so here it is again. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that Streamlabs freaking refunded you. That was very stupid. But so I'm glad that they actually refunded you. How was I supposed to do this again? Oh, there we go. That's it. This might be an odd question, but are you possibly half or at least part Egyptian? I am not. I am very white. My ancestry is mostly German and English, with a little bit of French and Swedish and Italian in there. So in other words, extremely white. You're Sona making a cameo in an indie game. Maybe you can make it happen. I hope so. Hey, I wouldn't even need people to ask my permission or anything. Oh, yeah, Ziggurat, I hope your cat's okay. I remember you talking about that on the Discord. Hope your cat's doing all right. Oh! Despite the striking similarities, Ink isn't actually Rachel. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. From The Mummy. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, she was a fun character. Yeah, I'm glad your cat's doing okay. That's good to know. Okay, there we go. There's the lock. And when you open it, ka-ching! It'll go up like that. Though I do wonder, maybe it could be a little bigger. Heartful Dragon asks, what inspired you to make planets based on different areas of the 20th century? I'll admit, a lot of it was probably just American Girl. I grew up on American Girl stuff when I was a kid, and I always loved this idea of them all being from different eras of American history and how fun that was. So I've always kind of loved this idea of a timeline of the 1900s. And it's also from the fact that I just really, really like retro fashion, and the idea of having each of these planets be like a different decade of fashion sounded incredibly fun to design. Rachel Weisz. Why did you choose 1940s for this planet in particular? Well, it wasn't that I chose the 1940s for this planet. It was more that I chose this... that I needed a planet for the 1940s. And I was like, what could I do for a 1940s themed planet? Because I hadn't made it yet. The first concept I came up with was, I think, was for the 70s one with Mariposa. Then I thought, oh, I needed to fill out a cast for her. And when I was doing a sketch of the cast, like coming up with the cast, one of the first ideas I came up with was the 1920s planet with the cat girl, because of the song Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, specifically the cover by Demi Cat. I thought that cover was really fun and cute, and as I was listening to it, I just kind of pictured that 1920s cat character in my head. So that's where that came from. And the 50s dragon people came from the idea of 1950s cars. Like, what if the people of this world kind of looked like the sleek chrome style of 50s cars? Like, made real into its own kind of race of people. What inspired the 30s slime creatures? Do they have bones? What inspired the 30s planet was specifically like Louisiana and the Bayou area of the US. And that kind of lent itself to the idea of these cute slime creatures, or slime people. Also, or I would say probably Orange Blossom from Strawberry Shortcake inspired Bonnie. And you know how all the Strawberry Shortcake characters, whenever you got their dolls, they always smelled like the fruit that they're based off of. So Orange Blossom always smelled like oranges. So I thought it'd be cute if the little slime people smelled good like jam, like they were orange jam, or lime jams, or different kinds of jams. So that's definitely a kind of Strawberry Shortcake inspiration there. Okay, now I have to make this lock be able to move. So what I'm gonna do do this. Delete. When designing the 1930s planets, have you been looking through fashion books, magazines, drawings, photos? Yes, for all of these games, I've been looking through old, specifically magazines is the most fun way to do it. Okay, cool. So this is how the lock is gonna work. It'll be able to go up, sideways. Oh, hold on. I have to get rid of that. Diagonal. 8 directions. 8-direction lock. You'll find that a lot of my inspirations tend to come from things that I liked a lot when I was a little girl. Like American Girl and Strawberry Shortcake and Barbie. But hey, the same can be said for a lot of people and a lot of people's inspirations. And My Little Pony, yes. Just surprised you're able to obtain fashion magazines from that era. Well, mostly what I'm talking about is scans of fashion magazines. Like scans of fashion magazines that are now on the internet, or I go to libraries and read library books about historical fashion. I'm going to be honest, I never grew up with American Girl. Okay. That's not a problem. No problemo. We all grew up with different stuff. Let's see, maybe I should make it a little smaller. Okay. Okay, cool. There's the lock. Let me go ahead and stick this down here. Still gonna need to texture it, of course, but that'll be later. Of course, now I have to have the actual lock itself, because just having this floating here doesn't really cut it, does it? How should I do this? Ah, I think I know. Let's do this, and then this. And then why is the planet colder, by the way? Is it further away from the sun? Probably. That makes sense. Not too much further, though, because Earth is in a very fortunate spot in the solar system. We are in the perfect spot to sustain life, and moving the Earth or cooling the Earth any huge amount, well, any even tiny amount can cause issues. So, hold on. This isn't quite gonna work either. How do I, what's the logic behind these again? 1 second. Also, this music is now boring. Let me change it. We're gonna change it to what I have on the back burner here. The Shimmering Voyage Volume 6, Disc 1, Origin of Moonlight Genshin Impact. I might change it again in a sec, but I'm in the middle of something. Did you go with Polly Pocket? Yes, I did. I loved Polly Pocket. A latch instead? Yeah, probably. One second. I'm just looking up drawer locks. That's right. I think I have to put... Oh, okay. Hold on. This picture... There we go. That's what I was thinking of. This is what I want to do with it. Just had to get a visual reference in my head. Okay. And then we're gonna have to put a latch on it. Let's see, is it possible for me to reuse this and turn it into a latch? Mayhaps, mayhaps. Let's give it a shot. Maybe I should reuse something I've already made. 1 second. Or maybe not. I'm thinking. This is Lockpicking Lawyer, and today we're testing this Noivas lock. Yeah, pretty much. You find that when you're making puzzle games, you kind of have to make locks and keys and stuff. It's kind of crazy. Who would have thought? How am I doing this? Let's see, let's see. This probably wasn't the best way to go about it, but I don't really care. Did you ever play with Lala Loopsy dolls when you were a kid? They creeped me out because they reminded me of the other mother from Coraline. Yeah, I did. I don't think I played with the big ones, though. I think I played with the little plastic ones. Okay. There we go. Technically, the texture on this is kind of ugly because it's so repurposed, but I'm not sure it really matters. I might go back and touch it up, but for now, the camera's mostly going to be focused like right here, so it's probably okay. Alright. I mean, yeah, I could have done a Boolean modifier, but I was being dumb. Alright, so we've got that lock done. I'll worry about the texturing later. Now, I was thinking of taking a look at the puzzle that will be right here. Take a closer look at those candles. One sec. You mean the saint candles? In the three art forms, 2D stop motion CGI texturing, furniture is by far the hardest thing to do. Taylor, I'm a little bit confused as to what you're talking about with that. Do you mean furniture is the hardest thing to do in all three art forms? Or furniture is the hardest thing to do in CGI? I'm kind of confused what you're talking about. Say that texturing is very hard to do. I don't really agree with that. Furniture is probably one of the easiest things to do in 3D. Furniture is really easy in 3D as compared to doing characters. Characters are technically some of the hardest things to do in terms of pure time and effort, skill. However, furniture texturing is highly time consuming for me because of how much of it I have to do. You have the Noivest version of those candle containers with Jesus on the side. That's hilarious. Thank you. Technically, it's the equivalent of Saint Candle specifically. There with the Kieran on the side. That's why they have so many horns because they're Kirin, which means they've been blessed by the dragons. So they have some extra horns. They're like an equivalent of saints, I suppose. Okay, here is going to be another puzzle. But I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to do it. Let me think. Oh! Thank you very much for the donation, Ziggurat. Much appreciated, much appreciated. He says, it'd be very cool to see a devlog on the lore of the religions and all the saints and such. Yeah, it would be. I'm not sure if I can do that right now. I feel like my last 2 devlogs I've uploaded have been lore related and they didn't seem to be very popular. So I feel like I'm gonna have to go back to, at least for now, doing some actual game dev related stuff. I've been hounding myself over and over like, hey, I need to do another devlog. I need to do another devlog. I've been just so busy. But I need to do another devlog because that's how I gotta, you know, maintain presence on my YouTube channel. I can't just be streaming forever. So I'll figure it out. The thing is, devlogs aren't even that hard to do, but it's like, I basically have to dedicate a full day to making them, and or even a day and a half. So I have to write a script, and I have to record, and I have to edit, and editing takes so long. I don't know. Make a thumbnail. That's one of those things I'd love to be able to hire an editor at some point, but I don't have the means at the moment, but doesn't streaming help with the YouTubes? I'm not sure. I have been doing the YouTube shorts. I think those have been good. Well, I'm glad y'all like the lore videos. Unfortunately, not a lot of people seem to click on them. I don't want to be one of those... okay, devlogs are super important. They're super good. They're super great. But I also don't want to be one of those devs who just keeps doing YouTube instead of actually working on the game. It's a catch-22, yeah. Okay, let's see. Puzzle. So there's going to be a puzzle here. This puzzle is going to involve tokens that you have to put on here in a specific order, specific place. Each token goes in a specific place. So, hold on. I need to make what the shape of the little tokens will be. Making some gameplay dev videos does sound good for variety. Yes, it does. I need to do that. I need to do this. Maybe in the future you could do a Q&A where instead of doing your game, you ask questions people ask you in the comment section. I mean, the streams pretty much are already Q&As, so I don't know if that would really be needed. Thank you, Artful Dragon. You know what? I'm not sure what I want. Let me try this instead. having a thicker border here. That's true, Oscar. Devlogs are a good way to keep track of progress, for sure. There's a couple things I really need to do with the devlogs. Like, one of the things I really want to cover next with the devlogs is blocking out the school. That's going to be fun to show off, like me walking around the block out of the school and explaining how I blocked it out. It's just a lot to write. I'm just kind of seeing if these will all fit on the board. It looks like they will. Okay, this is the configuration they will be. Oscar says, since we're your super fans, the devs being a Q&A is a-okay. But for the casual normies or people who've never heard of your game before, dev stream is too much to sift through. That is true. That is true. Okay. You know what? I might spoil what the subject of this puzzle is for y'all, because it'd probably be weird for me to just be working on something that you have completely no context of. I'm sure it's fine. Since y'all are here for behind the scenes stuff anyway, you're gonna get a little bit of spoilers on things, and I'm not gonna share the actual solution, just what the actual puzzle is. This puzzle is a food chain. It's a food chain puzzle. You might have gathered that there was a food chain related puzzle based on what I said earlier, and this is it. Again, this is not like a big spoiler or something, because I'm not sharing the actual solution. It's a pretty easy puzzle anyway, so anyway. Spoilers, So I'm working on the little food chain things here, the little tokens for each animal. Okay. just looking at I have a thing on my second screen that shows the actual food chain, like the actual solution to the puzzle. I'm just kind of comparing and contrasting to make sure I've got this right. Oops. Who's on the top of the food chain? Who's on the bottom of the food chain? Well, I can't share that. That's the puzzle. I can't just tell you the solution. It's your job to look it up on IGN. Okay, let's try this. To give it a little bit more of a fancy vibe, let's do this. Nice. I have to make it nice and detailed because you'll be able to look at these tokens in 3D. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of a, hold on. There we go, cylinder. Oops. Yeah, you move them around. There we go. So the peg will go into this. I'm gonna unwrap this as well. Let's see, where should I unwrap it from on this side? I'm thinking the sides will be golden or something. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Blue Spirited Dragon says, have you ever seen those funny Blender help forum videos? I might know what you're talking about, but I can't like put my finger on it. Is it from a YouTube channel or TikTok? Okay, this one will go here. Channel is Clone Base. Ah, okay. Maybe I can look them up later. Hmm. What shall I do here? There we go, that works. Okay, let me make sure I got my account right. Okay, I think that's good. Just to make sure, I'm gonna copy paste this, put it there as a backup in case what I'm gonna do next doesn't work. So what am I gonna do next? Well, let me show you. Time to use a Boolean. Okay, Boolean. Oof. Look at that. Uh-oh. That didn't work. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, what about... Let me try something. Have you seen Run Monsters Run? No, I have not. Now all of the cleanup work is what we're working on next, basically. Cleanup work. It's not super fun, but it must be done. Sorry, like I said, this is not super exciting to watch, but it's what I got. So, I watched Terminator 2 for the first time this week. I really enjoyed that. Glad I finally watched it. One of those classics that, now I understand why it's a classic. I think James Cameron might be my favorite Hollywood director by this point. So many of his movies are on my favorite movie list. I have also seen the first one, yeah. I saw it like last year. That was also a good movie. It was really cool to see the original origin of a lot of pop culture stuff, you know? Yeah, I do think the second one was better than the first one. The first one was not bad by any means, but the second one just blew it away in a good way. Sarah Connor is so cool. Is Robert Patrick the fella who was the T-1000? Because if so, damn, he was good. He was so threatening. It was awesome. He was one of the best parts of the movie. He did that threatening aura so well. And that run and that chase scene on the bikes, that was sick. I saw a behind the scenes thing that said he was actually running too fast. He kept catching up with the kid's motorbike. So they had to ask him to slow down in his run. That's scary. He actually learned to hold his breath while running so he looked more like a robot. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Crazy dedication. Yeah, the thing is, I'm probably not the first to say this, but I really like Cameron's female characters. Cameron, like, knows how to write women. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like whenever I'm watching a Cameron movie, the female characters feel just as human and just as real as all the other characters in a way that I feel like not a lot of other male directors are able to accomplish. Like, he gets it. It's weird. It's like, why him of all people? I don't know. Like Ellen Ripley in Alien 2 and Sarah Connor and Neytiri and Rose and the lady in the Abyss. Like, I don't know. He just gets it. They feel like they're written characters first and women second, but at the same time, their femininity is not discarded completely either, you know? Like, it's still part of their character. Hello, Torrent. Welcome in, welcome in. The work session is going good. I'm just trying to figure out how to clean up this puzzle doodad I'm working on. Working on this puzzle thing. There we go. It's looking a lot nicer. Okay. Also just the acting from, I don't know her name, sorry, but from Sarah Connor's actress in that movie was crazy good. Especially all of her scenes inside the mental asylum, and then the scene, how do I say this without spoilers? The scene where she's about to, you know, do the deed that her son doesn't want her to do against another person. I don't know. No, I'm not talking about Sigourney Weaver. I'm talking about the lady in Terminator 2. Like, that, the acting in that scene was crazy. Super cool. She did a great job. And she was so buff, too. She, like, really worked out for that role. Good for her. Also, whenever I see Sigourney Weaver, she makes me think of my mom. Sigourney Weaver reminds me a lot of my mom. I've told her that in the past, and she's like, really? I don't know. And I'm like, yeah. And that's a compliment, by the way, obviously. Yeah, I've always thought they kind of looked alike, too. I don't know if I technically need to clean this up anymore, but it's bugging me. All these vertices are bugging me. Oh, wrong one. At center. At center. Good night, Lowest Expectations. Thanks again for joining in. Yeah, exactly, Oscar. This Boolean nightmare is bugging me. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to clean this up, but I might just have to somewhat leave it as is. Blue Spirited Dragon says manually decimating a model is strangely fun for me. That's fair, that's fair. Let's see what else What else? Oh, hold on. Okay, now let's try this. Select all by trait, non-manifold. Ah, there's one. This one. What's wrong with this one? Let's see. Nothing? What's going on? Also, I've been reading the book version of Howl's Moving Castle recently, and been having a lot of fun with it. It's funny how the movie completely gets rid of the fact that Howl originally came from Wales. In the book, Howl kind of comes from our world, from Wales, and then somehow he ends up into the worlds of Sophie and the wizards and things. I haven't gotten to the part in the book where they kind of explain that bit, though, yet. Okay, that was The Shimmering Voyage, Volume 6, Disc 1, Origin of Moonlight from Genshin Impact. Now let's go to Nostalgic Virtual Hangout Spots, Volume 1. Okay. We've somewhat cleaned up this Boolean nightmare. It's not the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, even though it is still pretty disgusting. But, hey, what can you do? All right. Now it's time to unwrap. Oh, no. That's not what I want. Okay. Unwrapped. This is looking good, but one thing I definitely want is to overlap all these guys with each other, because they don't all need to have separate textures. We can overlap all their textures because, yeah, they don't all need completely separate textures. Which one's this one? What's going on with this one? Oh, that's why. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the way we're gonna overlap these is putting the cursor to selected and selection to cursor. That way these are all overlapping each other. There we go. Now they're all overlapping. So if I just texture this one spot, it's going to texture all of them here, which is going to be super helpful. So I don't have to texture each one of these little holes. I can just do it with one fell swoop. It's a great dev trick. And then this is the wooden. Let me just put it on a different texture so I can see it better. Okay. Now these, the actual little tokens themselves. So for these little tokens, I want the outside part here to overlap with each other, but these inside parts right here, these will change depending on the token. Each token's gonna have a different symbol on it for certain reasons, puzzle reasons. So that means I want to keep all this stuff overlapping each other, but I want the centers not to overlap anymore. So to do that, I'm gonna select this and then take it out, select this, take it out, select this, take it out, and keep going until they're all not overlapping each other anymore. There we go. So now none of them are overlapping, which is just what I want. But these parts are still overlapping, which is what I want. So the texture will be shared on the outsides, but not on the insides. Perfect. Beautiful. Now let's combine these two on the same sheet. One thing I want to do though is, let me go ahead and make a material for it. I'll call it, day 5 puzzle food chain. And I'll just make it kind of greenish for now. Not quite one for each creature, but also there's one for the food. The food that they eat. Like grass, one for bugs, one for gems. No, not SpongeBob music. This is Delfino Plaza from Super Mario Sunshine. By the way, guys, we're only $5 short from our stream goal today. If anybody would like to super chat $5 more, then we can fulfill our $25 goal for today. So that's my shilling for today. All right, let's arrange. Let's arrange. I'm gonna get these close together so we save space. I technically have a plugin to arrange these pieces for me, but with the way I've already kind of delicately separated them from each other, and for some reason, I don't know if this is a setting in the plugin that I can fix, but for some reason when I use the plugin, it stops these from overlapping. So if anything's overlapping, it'll spread it all out and not have it overlap anymore, which I don't want, because again, I want to save texture space where possible. I'm not sure if there's a setting in the plugin that I'm using that will stop overlapped objects from getting spread out, but I'm not sure. I have to look more into the plugin. thing I could also do to save space is this. Hold on. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that actually. Never mind. Never mind. Goodbye, Ivana. Thank you very much for joining us today. Oh, Project Seltzer, thank you very much for the donation. I used to play trumpet when I was in school. What musical instrument do you think Judith would play? Oh, well, I have a very specific answer for that, and that is violin. Judith plays the violin. You will see her play the violin in the game, actually. And because of your $5 donation, we have executed our stream goal for today, so thank you very much for that. One moment, let me go ahead and get that Link dancing gif ready for you. One moment. Thank you very much for the donations today, everybody. Okay, let's see, one moment. Okay, this next donation is a fake donation. It's a fake donation. I'm only doing it in order to do the Link dancing gif for the chat. There we go, Link dancing gif. Woo! Thank you very much for our stream goal for today. Wunderbar. Dance, Link, dance! I need to find that Link gif so that I don't have to keep doing fake donations on here to see it. If anybody finds that Link gif, let me know, because it's been too long. I don't remember where I got it from anymore. Oscar says, fun fact, James Cameron almost directed Jurassic Park. Spielberg beat him to the movie rights by mere hours. He said his version would have been aliens with dinosaurs, R-rated and lots of guns. That's very interesting. Obviously, I'm very, very happy with the Jurassic Park that we got, but it would be really cool to see Cameron's take on a Jurassic Park movie. Though I guess, I mean, the Avatar movies already have a huge amount of Jurassic Park kind of thrill to them, with especially all of the dinosaur-like creatures you can see tearing up humans in the Avatar movies. So, you know, maybe in reality we didn't miss out on it. we already have it of a sort. He should make a Dino Crisis movie. Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, there we go. It's done. I finished unwrapping this bad boy. Sweet. I'm gonna export this. One second, I'm gonna export this. Export, export, export. Okay, I'm back. All right. Well, off stream, I'm gonna be texturing that puzzle. And what does this puzzle do? What does this puzzle unlock? Well, it will open the weapons case. I guess we'll find out what happens after that once the game comes out. Okay, what else? What else? Well, how about... Oops. Too far out. Too far out. Hold on. There we go. Doggy needs some dog toys. Also, I need to retexture these to not have Mariposa's cat on the name. The ball does not need to have that many polygons. For the dog's ball, what we can do is subdivision and then crank it up by 1. There we go. And the dog can have a nice ball to play with. there's the dog's ball. What other kind of toy should the dog have? Milagro. Of course, yeah, the Flatte Chow is gonna have to be retextured as well. Let's see what... Huh. A chewing bone, Ziggurat says. I think that's a good idea. Anyone else have ideas? I've been looking up reference, and look at this. Look at what I found. That dog looks like it's about to chow down on a mammoth bone. A squishy toy that looks like a fluff bat. Oh my gosh, that sounds adorable. That's a fun idea. Might be a little too difficult though. I mean, not difficult, but like maybe too time consuming to make an entire little plushie. Unless I decide to make it kind of simplistic. I'll think about it. There's gotta be some kind of squishy toy though. Maybe not a plush, but maybe one of those rubber squishy toys. Look up dog rubber toy. I'm seeing a squishy alligator dog toy, and that makes me think of the fact that I already made a kind of alligator design for one of my other pictures that'll go in this room, so maybe I can do one of those. Or maybe like a rubber squishy chicken. I think these things are kind of classic, this kind of shape. It's gummy goo. We should probably do a little tennis ball too. Looking at some more of these toys here. I think doing something like this could be easy because it's just kind of a tube with some simple shapes attached on it. The hamburger one is pretty funny. We could do something like that. A chewing ring would be good too. One of these chewy rings. That should be enough. Oh, but I think a rope dog toy would be good too. Dogs love these things. We'll see. Adding this all to my reference bin. We're making some good progress on this room. I'm quite happy with that. Let's see, which one should I do first? I think I'm about to stop streaming in about 10 minutes, so I think I'll start with this kind of bone. It's pretty easy. It's so tiny, so I don't need to model the bumps on it. I'll just texture them on. 1 second. Okay, cool. Okay. I'm just thinking, sorry. Something else I need to do is... Got a burger, barbecue, bacon burger. Barbecue bacon burger. All right. Sweet. Is the cheese sparkly? Yes. Yes. This is going to be the cheese. This will be the lettuce. Good night, Oscar. Thanks for coming. Nice having you as always. Barbecue bacon burger. All right, everybody, I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. I need to head out. I'm getting tired. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us today. We got a lot of great stuff done. A lot of good things done. We got puzzle stuff that's finished modeled. We got toys. We got a lock. Lock and key. Well, not the key, but yeah. Yeah. Some good stuff. Thanks, everybody. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Well, hold on. My end stream button is not working. Maybe I'm stuck with you guys. 1 second. My YouTube Creator Studio is wigging out. Alright, goodbye.